A loaf of bread, no bills to pay, but Murphy sneezed on O'Shea's coat, and that's all she wrote. A granny swung a bag of scones, while Duffy threw his chicken bones. The priest aglow with righteous grace, he blessed the fight just in case. Oh, we're brawling in the bread line, fists and break alike, fighting for a crust, not just the craic inside. The queues of war zone every morning night. Oh, bless their souls, brawling in the bread line. Young Molly clocked a banker's jaw, yelled, "That's for all your credit law." The baker filmed it for the gram while slinging buns like Vietnam. It's not about the bread, you know, it's just the best pub fight on show. We're brawling in the bread line, black eyes, broken shoes, trading tales and bruises with a pint or two. No battle finer, no feud so divine and hunger fueled, brawling in the bread line. The flower flew, the bagpipes wailed, a cabbage cannon just derailed, and still we stand, a nation proud, bruised and battered, and laughing loud. Still brawling in the bread line and loving every round, where fists are firm and friendship strangely found. It's Dublin sport, it's Cork's design to keep on brawling in the blessed bread line.
Old Father Flynn with his collar so white seems calm in the day, but he danced in the night by the light of the moon or a lantern's last gleam. He'd jitter and jive like a priest in a dream. On Sundays he'd preach with a grin in his eyes, but his shoes told a tale he could never disguise. With a heel and a hop and a slap on the floor, you'd swear he had river dance locked in his core. Oh, Father Flynn's got fancy feet, tapping on the chapel seat. Bless his soul and bless his shoes, he danced right out the morning news. Hallelujah, clickety-clack, he moonwalked down the chapel track. Mrs. O'Hare dropped a rosary bead when the padre began doing high-stepping speeds. He spun like a devil, then bowed with a wink, and baptized a pint at the local, I think. He jigged through confessions, he reeled through the mass. He even tap danced while mowing the church's front grass. The bishop once came, but before he could shout, Flynn tangoed his mitre clean out of the house. Oh, Father Flynn's got a rhythm divine, drank holy tea laced with moonshine. He prayed with a bead and preached with flair, and set off fire alarms midair. Hallelujah, bless his knees, the Lord gave him the gift of these. They say on one night with the storm at its peak, he danced on the roof for a full blessed week. Now the villagers swear on their sheep and their gin. The rain only stopped when the priest gave a spin. Oh, Father Flynn, we raise a cheer, the jiggliest priest in County Clare. He'll save your soul with grace and flair, and tap you clean through thin night air. Holy steps and holy sound, no holier feet have touched this ground. Now Paddy O'Rourke had a wrench and a plan. He fixed every leak from here to Roscommon. But deep in the bog where no toilets dare flush, he found a wee cottage with plumbing gone mush. The widow McBrae said, "Me lose a disgrace. It bubbles and burps in a most frightful place." So Paddy dove in with his plunger held high, like a knight in old tales, just with shite in his eye. Oh, Paddy and the plunger, hooray and hurrah! He battled the bog like a brave man, oh law, with a twist and a grunt and a magical sound. The loo gave a cheer and spun clean all around. Out shot a gold ring, a shoe and a spoon, and 17 frogs whistling Danny Boy's tune. The widow cried, "Mercy, what else did you find?" He said, "Just your ex in surprisingly good time." Oh, Paddy and the plunger, he's top of the town. They gave him a pint and a ceremonial crown. He fixed every cistern from Derry to Clare, and even unclogged the priest's old prayer chair. So if ever your pipes start to growl in the night, don't call for a saint, get Paddy alright. He'll come with his boots and a twinkle of glee, and clear out your ghosts with a wrench and some tea. Paddy and the plunger, a legend to tell, the bravest young lad to unclog holy hell. He's danced with the drain and he's sung to the sink. So raise up your glass and don't let it stink. Here's to Paddy, may your toilets never tremble, and your plungers stay ever noble. Paddy's got a plan, says it's foolproof this time, with a twinkle in his eye and a swig of moonshine. Says he's building a boat made of barrels and string, to row across the Liffey and marry the king. Oh, Paddy, dear Paddy, your brain's made of jam, but we'll follow you straight to the end of the dram. From Killarney to Cork, you're the toast of the land. When trouble breaks loose, we know Paddy's your man. A goat, it could beat him at chess. It butted the board and made one holy mess. He traded his trousers for a dancing raccoon, then tried to sell Guinness as dark lemonade in June. Oh, Paddy, dear Paddy, you rogue in disguise. Your plans are all bonkers, but somehow they fly. With your pockets all empty and head full of sand, we'd still charge behind you with tankards in hand. Now Molly, she left him just 3 times this week. He promised her riches, then bought her a leak. But back in the pub, he still brags of the day he invented the wheel in a roundabout way. Oh, Paddy, sweet Paddy, our local saint's clone, with your cracked little compass and loud megaphone. Wherever you march, we'll all join the band, 'cause the world's twice as bright when it's Paddy's command. and all of his schemes. May they always be wild and forever full of dreams.
We learned our math from barroom tabs and history from old drunk crabs. Miss O'Leary taught with gin and the belt if you dared to grin. We played our tunes on whistles bent with holes too wide and reeds half spent. The notes were off, the time in dire, but we played till our lips caught fire. Penny whistles and broken teeth, we sang with spit and grit beneath. We had no gold, just bruises sweet, but damn, we danced with two left feet. Oh, penny whistles and broken teeth, the soundtrack of our stolen youth. The floorboards groaned, the rafters cracked, old Seamus slipped and never came back, but his ghost still howls at 2:30 for the song we botched but always knew. Hey lad, you dropped a molar, hey, but kept me dry. The whistles squeaked in FNG, but no one ran, they danced beside. Penny whistles and broken teeth, from County Clare to Castle Heath. We played with fists, we sang with pain. We'd lose again and rise again. Who needs pitch when you've got punch? Hyped, not us. Who needs teeth to bite your lunch? Hyped, not fuss. Till we've got tunes and pints and grief together now. Hype, penny whistles and broken teeth.
They say he drove the snakes away with prayer and holy might, but I have a scroll from Galway Bay that tells a different plight. He sailed a ship of emerald flame with whiskey in the hold, and carved his cross on every chest of doubters he cajoled. Saint Paddy was a pirate bold with a tricorn hat and teeth of gold. He blessed the grog and cursed the tide and stole a nun and took a bride. So raise your glass and do confess, the saint you know was quite a mess. The boats from Liverpool and challenged priest to chess. He'd trade confessions for a duel and win in drunken dress. His miracles were tavern tricks, his sermons full of flair. He'd turn your wine to frothy stout and vanish in thin air. Saint Paddy was a pirate while he baptized lambs and stole a child. He'd bless your boots, then nick your rum and swear he'd never call it done. So if ye hear a toast at sea, it might be Paddy haunting thee. He wasn't canonized, they say, just outlawed and revered. The churches changed the tale around so people wouldn't fear. Saint Paddy was a pirate rogue, a halo hid beneath his cloak. He smuggled hope, he hijacked hymns and danced with ghosts on chapel rims. So drink and shout and live like mad, just like Saint Paddy always had. Just like Saint Paddy always had. Just like Saint Paddy always had.
10. The band was halfway sober, the barkeep winked again. No menu on the table, no bells to make a fuss. Just one carved line behind the bar that read, "The drink picks us." I said, "What's the crack? What's the way?" He grinned and made it plain. Tap twice for Guinness, once for red, 3 times if you're halfway dead, 4 if it's for someone new, and 5's for rounds. The barkeep blew. No need for coins or plastic cards, just knock the bar and raise your glass. Tap twice for Guinness and let the laughter pass. Young Chopin played tricks with straws while Murphy drummed the wall. A tourist tried some whiskey neat and hit coke down the hall. Old Ned recited limericks, the same since '83. Each time he told the final line, he'd tap once more for 3. There's rhythm in the pint glass and rhyme inside the cheer. Tap twice for Guinness, once for red, 3 times if you're halfway dead, 4 if it's for someone new, and 5's for rounds. The barkeep blew. No need for tips or sober sense, just knock and nod and take a chance. Tap twice for Guinness and join the timeless dance. A pint for the broken-hearted, a laugh for the fool who stayed, a round for the lad who finally sang and kissed the bell he prayed. Tap twice for Guinness, once for red, 3 times if you're halfway dead, 4 if you're in love or close, and 5 for ghosts in drinking toast. No clocks, no rules, no closing signs, just taps that speak what's true. So tap twice for Guinness, and we'll tap once for you. Hey! I woke to a wail at 5:15. A banshee was shrieking and very alive. She sat at the table and buttered me toast. Said, "Don't mind the scream, I'm a terrible host." She poured me a cup with a glimmering grin. It's tea with a dash of the souls I've been in. Oh, the banshee's making breakfast, won't you stay a spell? There's jam made of jellyfish, eggs cooked in hell. Her hair's full of lightning, her robe's full of steam. She hums like a kettle and screams in between. But the bacon is crispy and butter divine, so I'll breakfast with death and pretend that it's fine. Served me a scone with a flick of her claw. Said, "Eat it or else I abide by no law." The jam had a glow and it giggled when spread. The butter recited a poem from the dead. I took one small bite and began to convulse. She smiled and asked, "Want some ghost pepper sauce?" So the banshee's making breakfast, it's murder with flair. Her pancakes are portals, don't look at her stare. The coffee's so dark it absorbs all the light. I sipped and I saw my own funeral rite. But oddly enough, I asked for some more. She packed me a lunch and screamed at the door. Woo!
curse, but I'd risk it to death. If screams are the price for a fry-up so bold, then let her keep shrieking, I'll trade in me soul. So next time you hear her howl through the mist, just follow the scent, it's a breakfast you missed.
Town on a bright April morn, the sheep all lined up, freshly sheared and reborn, with numbers and ribbons and names full of flair, like Lamborghini and Woolly O'Hare. The pubs all went quiet, the bells gave a ring, then Seamus the mayor did the countdown thing. With a bang and a cheer, off the herd flew, through cabbage, past fences and right through the loo. Sheep run, don't trip on a nun. You're racing for glory and not just for fun. Through the mud and the bar, over pint and balloon, it's the great sheep race of Killadoon. Now Paddy had wagered on Sean of the Fleece, while Mary bet everything, even her niece. Mick tried to ride one, and that went all wrong. He flew through a haystack and burst into song. Then Baron von Fluff took a turn far too wide and tumbled straight into the priest's joyride. Old Flynn tapped the brakes, but the sheep were too quick, so he danced down the road on a sheep-powered stick. Go, Woolly Blur, don't stop for a cure. It's chaos, it's pride, and it's barely secure. With hooves in the ale and the wind full of tune, it's the great sheep race of Killadoon. Number 12's got the lead. No, wait, she's reversed. Is that sheep drunk? No, just well rehearsed. Now jump the fence and dodge the stew. They've run through weddings and lost a shoe, but who crossed first we'll never know soon, in the great sheep race of Killadoon. Run, sheep, run, don't trip on a nun. You're racing for glory and not just for fun. Through the mud and the bar, over pint and balloon, it's the great sheep race of Killadoon. My shed to a leprechaun bold. He paid me in buttons and glittering gold. Said all I require is clover and tea, and exclusive night rights to your big screen TV.
He drew up a contract, it looked rather neat, till I found clause 12 gave him rights to my seat.
My fridge disappeared and he said with a smirk, "That's covered by rent and I do like your pork." He's got a lease and a lawyer with wings. He's brewing up moonshine and claiming my things. The shed's now a tavern with disco machine. Beware the lease clause of a Sprite in green. I called in the priest to expel the wee chap, but he bribes him with mead and a Guinness on tap. The council came by to inspect the whole site. He'd made it a hotel by Tuesday night. He's hosting a rave on the lawn every week. My dog's in the garden and hasn't stopped shrieking. My sheep are in therapy, my dog's learning flute, and the gnome's now a bouncer in leather and suit. He's got a lease and he's found all the loops, with clauses and riders and goat riding troops. He claims squatters' rights on my washing machine. Oh, cursed be the lease of So heed this tale before signing unseen. Read every word from the Latin green.
In Lisdoonvarn, a fair and wide, the matchmaker sits with too much pride. He pairs up folks with pen and pint, but this time made a right bad blight. He matched young May from County Clare with Seamus Flynn, and not quite fair, for Seamus brought not gold nor jewel, but showed up riding a stubborn mule. Oh, the matchmaker's mule, what a sight to be seen, with a wink and a fart and a coat of green. He brayed through the boughs, kicked the priest in the shin, and Maeve ran off with his brother Finn. So mind who you trust, with your heart or your fuel. You might just be wed to a matchmaker's mule. The mule was cursed, or so they say, by Granny Breed on her wedding day. For every pair that loved and lied, the beast would buck and wreck their ride. Now Seamus, slow but oddly sweet, still tried to dance with heavy feet. But Maeve, she'd none of awkward charms, she leapt that mule and robbed his farm. Oh, the matchmaker's mule, the jinx in disguise. He'll ruin your romance and flatten your pies. He bit the band, he chewed the cake, he chased the guests right in the lake. So don't ask for love from a man on a stool. You might just be wed to a matchmaker's mule. They say the mule still haunts the fairs with clover in his tail and curses in the air. If he sniffs your bouquet or stomps on your shoe, best flee the altar or you'll say I do. Oh, the matchmaker's mule, he's still on the roam, with a saddle of scandal and teeth of chrome. He'll ruin a wedding, he'll trample a tune. He once ate a cake shaped like the moon. So if you hear braying at sunset's cool, you're in the path of the matchmaker's mule.
It started one night at O'Malley's back room, where the whiskey runs deep and the egos go boom. Seamus stood tall with a pint in each hand, said no man alive holds his liquor like I can. Then Paddy pipes up with a grin ear to ear, I'll wager me boots and me last pint of beer. The crowd gathered around as the deal was laid bare, two fools in a challenge with pride in the air. Oh, a pub wager's born when the craic hits the flame. You swear on your boots and forget your own name. You'll dance on the tables, you'll sing out of tune, you'll wrestle a goat by the light of the moon. Hey. The rounds they went flying, the tales got absurd. Once wrestled a swan die and kissed it, I heard. They arm wrestled barmaids and wailed with baguettes, then climbed on the roof to shout out regrets. When Molly came in with a jug full of gin, she shouted, you lads wouldn't last in my skin. So they bid her a tune and a spin on the floor. They woke up next morning with heads on the door. Yes, a pub wager's fate is a story to tell, of trousers gone missing and knees scraped to hell. You gamble with pride and you'll likely lose that, while your mates draw a mustache with stout on your hat. Now Paddy's got blisters, Seamus can't walk, Molly's the queen and the whole town talks. But they'd all do it over, no shadow of doubt, for the song and the laughter and staggering out. So raise up your glasses, let foolishness reign, for a wager once made is worth all the pain. The bruises will fade
fiddle live on.
It started off with a sideways glance by the dartboard near the fridge. Mick spilled stout on Molly's dress, she chased him round the bridge. The fiddlers smirked, the drummers grinned, the crowd began to cheer. They cleared the floor, then stomped the boards, and someone yelled, "It's here!" They danced the shillelagh tango with elbows, boots, and pride. No rules, just swirls and shoulder rolls with Guinness as their guide. A cane in hand, a stomp so grand, a spin, a kick, a swing. They tangoed till the morning bell and broke near everything. His partner grinned with glee. She dipped him low, he lost his hat and shouted, "Marry me!" The priest said, "Lads, that's not a dance, it's chaos on parade." But even he was 2 steps deep before complaints were made. They danced the shillelagh tango with elbows, boots, and pride. No rule, just swirls and shoulder rolls with Guinness as their guide. A cane in hand, a stomp so grand, a spin, a kick, a swing. They tangoed till the morning bell and broke near everything. The fiddle screeched, the table snapped, the barkeep lost his mind. But no one left, they caught their breath and spun back into time. So raise a glass to Molly Sass, to Mink's bold bruise romance. And if you hear that tango beat, don't miss your chance to dance. A cane in hand, a stomp so grand, no steps to learn or know. Just fling your limbs and hope for grace in the shillelagh tango. We marched out at noon, the rain came at 2. The sky turned to soup and soaked every shoe. But still we sang loud with banners held high, in a soggy procession neath an angry sky. Our laces were swamps, our souls full of squish. The ducks swam past us like walking was fish. With pint in each hand and puddles knee-deep, we laughed at the clouds, not a soul asleep. We go left, we go right, in our slippery parade, with our coats dripping wet and our spirits unfrayed. Oh, the brass band is drowned, but the fiddles still play in the glorious, glorious soggy shoe parade. O'Malley's hat flew off in the gust, fell straight in a drain, may it rust. The drummer fell in, but beat with his boot, while the flute section played from under a chute. We splashed on through like madmen in boots, our toes made music in squelchy pursuits. Tourists all stared as if we'd gone mad, but in Ireland we call that just not bad. the thunder and boots made of clay in the legendary drenched soggy shoe parade. Voices shout, keep marching, you soggy saints. We go up, we go down, and the streets are a lake, but our cheers never drowned. Make no mistake, with our damp little anthem and puddle ballet, we stomp through the town the Irish way. We go left, we go right in our slippery parade, with our coats dripping wet and our spirits unfrayed. Oh, the brass band is drowned, but the fiddles still play in the glorious, glorious soggy shoe parade. We go left, we go right through the watery shade, with our grin soaked wider than the Guinness Brigade. We march with the thunder and boots made of clay in the legendary drenched soggy shoe parade. With our damper anthem and puddle ballet, we stomp through the town the Irish way. I met a man in Temple Bar, his coat was stitched with stars. He claimed he owned a leprechaun who funded all his jars. Said, watch this trick, ye doubting crowd. He slapped his coat just right, and out he pulled a flask so full it shimmered in the light. I asked him, where's the wallet then? He smiled like St. Pat said, oh, the whiskey wallet's deep and wide, you'll never find its bottom side. You buy a pint, it buys you 10 and leaves you broke, then full again. It's cursed or blessed, I can't decide. But lads, I'll never leave its side. He danced across the cobblestones with coins that rang like bells. He paid for drinks with paper slips and stories he could sell. The barman checked each note with care, yet smiled and poured around. For who could doubt a man who swore his wallet heard the sound of laughter, lies, and tales so wide, the kind you only drink inside. Oh, the whiskey wallet, slick and sly, it buys till pigs and priests can fly. A single sip, a double dare, and somehow still there's whiskey there. It jingles when the moon is high, and sings when sober folk walk by. While giants slept and harps were mute, and rain had just begun. But treated well and tell no one, he winked with half a grin, then disappeared behind the bar and never came again. Now the whiskey wallet's mine at last, though nights slide by a touch too fast. It pays in laughs and spills and songs, and keeps me right where I belong. If ever ye find one like this true, then lad, it's drinking you. There's a bend in the road where the mischief begins, where the lamplight flickers and the day always wins. With a pint in your paw and a tune in your head, you'll dance till the sheep go back into bed. There's stories in puddles and truth in a joke, and hearts getting lighter with every last poke. You might lose your shoe or your name or your way, but you'll never regret where you ended the day. When the streets meet green and the sky leans low, and your troubles forget where they're meant to go. There's a laugh in the air, there's a tear in your eye, but it's from too much grinning, not saying goodbye. There's a fiddler who plays while asleep on a crate. There's a priest doing jigs while he blesses your plate. The sheep wear their numbers, the bets have been placed, and Granny's got glitter right there on her face. The pub's never closed, it just changes its name, and your wallet comes back, though it never looks the same. We've danced on the tables, we've sung in the loo, and the echo still sings, we've saved one for you. When the streets meet green and the night runs long, you'll find you belong in the mess of the song. With a kiss on the cheek and your worries unseen, you'll stay where you smiled, where streets meet green. Shake, clap, la la. To the air, there's magic and madness and music to spare. We'll march to tomorrow through laughter and sheen, forever together where streets meet green. I woke with a thought on a Wednesday morn, my head like a drum and my shirt was torn. The sun hid in my eyes like a punch from a ghost, and someone had toasted but burned all the toast. I reached for the kettle, but oh what I found, a flask in the oats and it sloshed all around. Oh, whiskey in me porridge, what a lovely mess. It burns going down, but it cures the stress. No milk, no sugar, just a fiery delight. I lead like a dragon and dance through the night. So raise up your spoon for a breakfast so bold, it's oats with a splash of that liquid gold. The dog looked concerned, the cat took a sip, the kettle fell down with a mighty flip. The bacon ran off, the eggs tried to hide, my spoon caught fire and I laughed till I cried. I stirred up the brew like a wizard in rags and poured it all out in me cleanest socks bags. Oh, whiskey in me porridge, a cure or a crime. They'll write songs about it in jig and in rhyme. The priest smelled me bread and turned right away. I'd sin before I don't need tea or toast anymore. Just oats and a tipple and maybe the floor. Oh, whiskey in me porridge, the taste of a king, with spice on me lips and a song I can sing. It's breakfast, it's therapy, madness and cheer. It's the only good reason I'm still standing here. So slap on a label and bottle me soul. I'm 80% porridge, 20% gold. Down by the well with the ivy and moss, I wished for a bride and I flipped in a cross. But then came a Cal with the jug in his hand, and he shouted, "Your coin ain't worth half of this dram." He poured in the whiskey and winked at the stone. "It's liquid luck, lad, now leave it alone." But I heard a giggle and splash in the dark, and out popped a banshee all tipsy and stark. "Oh, whiskey in the wishing well, you granted me more than I dare to tell. I asked for love, got a ghost in lace, who follows me home and haunts the place." She sings in the morning and drinks through the night. She flirts with my uncle and gives folks a fright. The village all say, "You've been hexed, you poor clown." I say she's not bad, except she drinks me pint down. Oh, whiskey in the wishing well, she's swinging my door like a Liberty Bell. She dances on tables and howls at the moon, and steals all my socks by the light of June. So I went to the well with the bottle again, and I begged, "Take her back, she's driving me mad, friend." The water just burped and the ripples did ring. Out came her sister, "Now that's just my thing." Whiskey in the wishing well, make room for two, I'm under her spell. From one ghostly kiss to a whole haunted crew, I raise my glass, may your wishes come true.